Let's go, the Saints! Oh my goodness, this just absolutely positively sucks. And it starts off with some really good offense right here. And this Trips bunch have your big old reliable tight end Taysom Hill run behind it. And it's just so hard to guard it because there's just so much traffic. And Derek Carr sees this, throws it really quickly with the hand in his face, and he pick up a first down. Yeah, so the Saints are not that good of a football team without Eric McCoy in the lineup. And you'll see when there is a backup center in, you need to run as many twist stunts as you possibly can. Okay, so you get a double right here, and watch the center just get absolutely positively massacred right in to Derek Carr. The twist wasn't picked up either. It's batted up into the air, and the Saints eventually have to kick a field goal. This was a problem for the Saints. You know, they were allowed just simple pitch and catch throws, and they just struggled to put up touchdowns. So, you know, you'll take this all day, every day, but man, it was so tough to actually score in the red zone. All right, so this is a college principle, right? You see Lane Kiffin and quite a few teams run this, a fake pitch into the boundary. And what's very interesting is this play works even without the fake working. Notice he didn't even bite down on this pitch, right? It didn't really fool anybody. And guess what? It still works. 56 still comes down into the flat for a potential Alvin Kamara little throw right here. And Taysom Hill acts like he's blocking him, and then he releases. Okay, a little creative tight end leak play. You see a lot of teams run this, but in particular the Saints have probably been the best in the NFL at these creative leak kind of tight end plays. And, of course, Taysom Hill goes airborne. So Saints score a touchdown here, and here we are in the red zone. But you have a penalty. It looks like it was a legal man downfield on Pete. I said Pete, number 75. All right, so we get to Lee Fuaga here with the penalty that wipes off the AK-41 touchdown. And, man, this was a really good play. You know, we're talking about the Saints' red zone issues, some of which are just self-inflicted, right? This was always a pass play, but he released down the field, and AK-41 scores. Man, this sucks that this did not count for the Hoodats. And, man, ugh. 2-minute drill, and the Saints have already burned a timeout. Let's celebrate AK-41 on this, okay? I don't think people quite understand how smooth this was right here. So 11 gets the big block right here, Cedric Wilson. But watch how quickly Kamara is able to get through here. No wasted movement while also not getting touched. I mean, that is so smooth. That feels like the leather seats of a Lamborghini. I mean, that is so good. And obviously got to hurry up to the line of scrimmage. Okay, so you call a timeout, and, man, I love that the Saints still utilize the middle of the field, right? So all these linebackers and DBs are going to be playing with heavier outside leverage because they don't mind giving you the middle of the field with no timeouts. And AK, I don't know if it was just a pure option route here, and he chose to go to the inside, but you pick up a nice gain, and now you're in field goal range. Alrighty, so I'm not going to do any defensive reps because if you've held a Matthew Stafford offense to only 7 points with 3 minutes left to go in the third quarter, you probably deserve to win. Now, once again, the defense did fall apart in the fourth quarter, but still, so you get a play action fake out of outside zone. It looks like the Saints are running Yankee here. It's just tough without the All-22 yet. But Kevin Austin Jr., the rookie out of Notre Dame, makes a nice play right here for a first down. All right, so let's give the Rams defense a lot of credit. This was not a good unit going into this game. But, man, they dominated in the trenches. Not only in the run, but in the pass as well, with just simple bull rushes, right? We really struggled to hold up against Byron Young, and in particular Jared Verse, who has been doing this in the Superdome for a while now. You know, this was his first game, Florida State going up against LSU a few years ago. He did the same thing, just bull rushes, right into the lap of the quarterback. And give the Rams credit here. They figured out how to stop these stacks, right, where you're running a vertical and then you have someone running behind it. They did a lot better of navigating the traffic, and there's really nowhere for Derek Carr to go with the football, and he just has to bail and just hope for something. And all things considered on this 3rd and 10, this So I'm not morality police, but how did Demarcus Robinson play in this game? So after the Eagles Sunday night game, he was not suspended. He was arrested for going over 100 miles per hour, potentially being impaired, right? And he was released, and he played in this game. So the Rams said, hey, we're going to let the process play out. But the fact that he was able to play in this game is still wild to me. But maybe that's just me. But going over 100 miles per hour, that could, well, we've seen other receivers do that. Okay, so let's go to here. Man, Marquez Valdes-Scantling has just been so good. I mean, there's just no other way around it. You give some help on Jared versus Trevor Penning, and there was a guy in Derek Carr's face. Look at this ball location, but look at Scantling do a good job slowing down, shielding his body from the DB. And then one other thing he did a really good job of was waiting to put his arms up until the very last second to catch it, so the DB didn't know when to flail his arms. Really good stuff. Okay, this has to be one of the better two-point conversion catches you will see, okay? And Derek Carr had to go through basically full field. Could this have been thrown right here? Yeah, for a two-pointer, it would have been bang-bang to Foster Moreau. Carr gets off of it, and his pocket was actually good this time. He decides to throw a difficult floater. Look at this catch from Pettis. I mean, this is ridiculous for him to hang in the air that long and find a way to not only catch it, but secure it. Really good stuff. I am sorry, in this spot, Scantling man-to-man versus the same corner he burned. I'm throwing this vertical if I see this safety not playing Scantling at all. And you see the safety is actually playing AK-41. But Derek Carr starts off looking from left to right, and he does have a wide-open Cedric Wilson over the middle. So don't get it twisted. This is still a really, really good throw on 3rd and 4, and Wilson is wide open. But you'll see to the bottom of the screen, this vertical was still there. So still really good offense. So this has been a big piece of the Saints offense. These little leak plays with Foster Moreau. Now watch what the Rams do here. They have it sniffed out. Young says, look, I've seen this happen far too many times on film where Moreau starts blocking and then he releases. So Derek Carr is looking at Moreau and he sees that Young, the really good end, has it covered. So guess what he decides to do? He runs for it himself, okay? And you can see Young is still staying with Moreau. He's still staying with them, and eventually he's got to get off of him, and that's why those leak plays are so freaking tough to stop. Even if you do defend it, you still got to account for the quarterback. So, weird game, right? We get to this 4th and 3, and the Saints thought it was a good idea to block Foster Moreau man-to-man with Jared Verse. Don't do that, okay? You can see we're trying to run smash. What they decide to do is this corner bails and picks up Pettis on the corner route here, and this slot comes to play underneath Valdes-Scantling. So this was honestly the best defensive call for what we were trying to run here. And obviously the post-snap picture change. Looks like we're trying to run Jawan Johnson on some kind of fake deep over and then somewhere over the middle. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. I would need the all-22. Maybe he was open. I was able to get another angle. It was kind of tough for me to see if that was potentially there or not. AK released to the left side, and that was covered. But look at Derek Carr. I mean, this is some like 45-year-old uncle in the backyard kind of pump fake, right? And it gets stripped, and the game is over. So, is this the end for Darren Rizzi, right? Saints are 4-8, pretty much out of the picture. But the funny thing is, this game was just a weird game, right? Two older quarterbacks, no turnovers. The biggest difference, though, yard per play was somewhat similar. The Rams had a better yard per play, but the difference was the red zone. The Rams were 3 for 3 in the red zone. Saints 0 for 2, and that in a game this close and played this efficiently is going to end you more often than not. And look, like we said, Rams only had 7 points late in the third quarter. Now, this Saints defense did fall apart. There were some rough performances from some young players. All right, yeah, so one sad story is Taysom Hill. Is this a dirty hit from the corner Kobe Durant? All right. He honestly, I think he was trying to actually take the knees out from a puller. I'm not sure. I don't know. But, man. It's kind of like what what Chris Godwin had happened to him, or Nick Chubb. I mean, this is brutal. I mean, look at this. Ugh. Let me know if that's dirty, y'all. And you did have an opportunity to get the ball back, and then, of course, you see in the backfield, Kyren Williams does what Kyren Williams does and makes a play and ends this thing. So let me know what you guys think down below. I think if Darren Rizzi would have won out and made the playoffs, he would have had to keep him as a coach. But maybe this is a good thing if you want a Darren Rizzi gone. So there you go. It is Power Hour NFL. Boom. And tonight, we're getting this place called Lit Pizza. I've never had it.